It's the final appearance in the USL Top Division for two franchises that will not make the playoffs this year, but have destinations in the future as Toronto FC 2 takes on Penn FC. And a pleasant good evening, everyone, and welcome here to our broadcast facility here at FNB Field. Little nippy here tonight, as I'm here, Brian Kaiser with Larry Julius. Glad you could join us this evening. We've got Penn FC hosting Toronto FC 2. And Larry, two teams that aren't going to make the playoffs, but these two teams still play very competitive soccer when they play each other. A lot for them to play for in many ways.
Absolutely. I mean, again, for Penn FC, these guys are auditioning for teams in the future. And if you're Toronto, you have a parent team that you're trying to impress. You want to play when any opportunity you have. You want to be able to play.
Let's take a look right now at the standings in the USL. You'll notice these two teams not on the list because they have not qualified for the playoffs. Penn FC in the 13th position, Toronto dead last in the Eastern Conference. But a lot of things still to be determined in that Eastern Conference right now. Nashville, Bethlehem Steel, Ottawa Fury, North Carolina FC still fighting for the last two playoff positions. Should be a lot of fun when we hit the playoffs this year. These two teams won't be there, but not because they haven't had some good performances this year. As we take a look at Toronto FC 2, and a guy who has played very well lately is their goalie, number 28, Caleb Patterson-Sewell. You take a look at him right there. Nice beard on him as well. He's a Tennessee native, and against the game against Nashville this past Tuesday, a 2-2 draw for Toronto FC, a nice result for them. Had 10 saves, several of them very good ones for Caleb Patterson-Sewell. He'll be between the pipes, 3 clean sheets on the year. And for Penn FC, Thiago Calvin will call it a night as the 37-year-old Brazilian will retire after this game. Larry, the emotions going through his mind going into his final professional appearance?
Well, anytime you're ready to hang up the boot for the final time, it certainly is a little bit humbling. You know that opportunity is not going to come around again for you, maybe a little bit of kick-around soccer, but it's certainly going to be an emotional night for him.
Should be a lot to look forward to tonight. We're expecting a good crowd here tonight to find the final regular season game of the USL for these two teams. It's Penn FC hosting Toronto FC 2. Back with more of the pregame show after this on ESPN+.
Did you know all electronics must be recycled? It's the law, but more importantly, it's the right thing to do.
At the Recycling Center, Dauphin County residents can recycle older broken TVs, computers, cell phones, laptops, major appliances, even paper.
The Recycling Center is conveniently located on Cameron Street in Harrisburg. It makes recycling fast, safe, and simple.
Stop by the Dauphin County Recycling Center today and help us recycle the right way.
All across Pennsylvania, families are living their lives in their own homes. Not long ago, none of these families believed it possible. And then they discovered there was someone who could help. What was once only a dream is now a reality. Welcome home.
Crooked Hill Townhomes is the official housing partner of Penn FC. The rental community located in Susquehanna Township features 3-bedroom townhomes with attached garages and optional finished basements. The community features 6 beautiful floor plans, a state-of-the-art fitness facility, and an off-leash dog park. For more information on the community, visit www.crookedhillapts.com. Crooked Hill Townhomes, the best in luxury living at Central PA.
From Times Square to your local community, from local sports to international conventions, Invika has changed the broadcast and video landscape, bringing professional quality and service to organizations across the globe. Through professional, college level, and local sports, festivals, competitions, parades, and telethons, conferences, and commercials, Invika is bringing the power of video to more people and markets than ever before. Have a project you need covered? Check out our website for more information. Invika, providing affordable HD video solutions.
And welcome back here to FNB Field. Brian Kaiser along with Larry Julius for our final regular season game. Penn FC in the blue, Toronto FC 2 in the red. Let's take a look at our starting lineups for today. And for Toronto FC, it's 6 of the 11 who started their game on Tuesday, a 2-2 draw with Nashville. One change to that, Tsubasa Endo, number 46, replaced in the pregame warm-ups. Malik Johnson, number 56, will get the start instead of him. Watch out for number 77, Jordan Perusa at forward. He's only played 3 games with this team, but has goals in the last 2 off the bench. for Penn FC. It'll be 5 of the 11 who start. We look at Thiago Calvin, also the other veteran back there, Ramu Peiser back in goal, the 39-year-old Frenchman between the pipes for the last game for Penn FC.
Well, these are two good teams tonight that I'd like to see play a really good farewell game, at least for FNB Stadium here for Penn FC. I'd love to see a good match for the amount of fans that have come out and bared this cold weather for us tonight. It got a little chilly since the other night.
It has indeed. You take a look at Michael Rabaska, first-year head coach for Toronto FC 2, replaced Laurent Zero at the beginning of June, and has done a nice job since that time in motivating this team. Raul Voss, in his first year with Penn FC, the 34-year-old in his first head coaching opportunity. I'm sure he'll get other ones in the future. And depending if he would stay here and wait for this franchise to make the move to League One in 2020, or if he looks to coach elsewhere a year from now. This Toronto FC 2 team will be one of the founding members of USL League One next year, so both these teams will be stepping out of the USL Championship and stepping down to League One in the future. Our officials in this contest, our center referee is Nikrod Fateh. The ARs are Amlakar Siaju and Zeno Juho Cho. The fourth official is Robert Ryan Sr. So we are about set to go in the lime. In his traditional lime, taking the photo, Ramu Peiser with the rest of his mates for Penn FC. A couple changes in the lineup today. The midfield presence of Richard Menjivar not there tonight, but they will look elsewhere. Aaron Denis, Prince Buffo, Lucky Castana, Paulo Jr., all very explosive and offensive-minded players. You have to think that Penn FC tonight is looking to put some goals on the board. So we are just about set to get started here. Final regular season game, Penn FC, Toronto FC 2. Game number 34. We'll start with the whistle when we are set to go. Our center referee is ready. He blows the whistle, and we are underway here in Harrisburg. Zen plays it back. Interested to see what formation Penn FC is going to use with the group that's out there on the field. It's not exactly their normal locale. Buffo will take one. Prince as it goes by Caleb Patterson-Sewell. Tipped by him, so it will be a corner kick right off the bat. 25 seconds into the game for Penn FC. These two teams have played twice already this year. Once in Toronto. That was back on May the 9th, a 1-0 win for Harrisburg for the Penn FC team with Miguel Jaime, the sole goal of that game. Ken Tribbett had 2 of the 3 goals for Penn FC in the game in June that they won here 3-2. All cleared away. Paulo Jr. plays it down, crossed into the box, headed to the backside. Shaibu unable to do much with that, tried to chest it down, and it went off his chest over the end line.
Interesting ball, Brian. The ball comes across, a little bit of a teaser over the top of the head. I think he's got to be a little bit better prepared. He's kind of sitting back on his heels. To me, as it's getting whipped in, you see a little skimmer. Why doesn't he go with his head right there? That's my first reaction, but needless to say, I'm thinking good opportunity for Penn FC.
Shaibu, a youngster, just 19 years old. The Ghanaian has come in, has not played a lot of games. This is just his 4th start, 9th game overall for this Penn FC squad. But 6'4", a lot of size for Haruna Shaibu. Ball played forward, Kasana can't get the last touch there. Sal Barone making his 2nd straight start of the year. Up that left-hand side, get last touch by Penn FC. So the throw-in coming up for the visitors from Canada. We've talked before, Larry, about this Toronto FC 2 team, a team that, you know, they've only won 4 games this year, but they have played hard the entire season. And as you've said, still a lot to play for because these guys are trying to impress the parent club and have opportunities above them.
Well, there's no question. I mean, a lot of times coaches will weigh in on a team when they're at their weakest moments, and when you're not necessarily doing well in the standings, you know, that's looked upon as, are my players performing? Are my players giving maximum effort? because right now it's easy. You've basically won 4 games. You could certainly just, put your head down and kind of muddle your way through the next 80 minutes. But this is where it's going to show what a pro is and what a pro is not. You're compensated to play. You got to perform. And right now it's an opportunity for them to show what they can while knowing they definitely have nowhere to go in the future.
Ball played up towards Perusa. Calvin will play it all the way back to Pizer in the back. Keep an eye on some of these Toronto FC 2 players tonight. They have a pretty standard lineup that they've been going with lately, although it's been the same guys traveling with them of late. At times during the season, they've had other guys come up with the squad. Here's Buffo. Prince gets it over to his left foot, dispossessed of the ball well. Kasana goes down, but it's a good firm challenge either way, and a well-done play by Tim Kubel. Ball to the outside. Opportunity for Paulo Jr., who's out on the left tonight. Cuts back inside to the right foot, stays on his feet. Continues to look, dispossessed, and here comes Toronto FC 2 the other way. Shaibu with a good step. He's able to play it out to allow Penn FC to get their shape back here as we enter the 5th minute of play.
Penn FC gets the ball down the danger zone. They've got to get a service in. Cutting, jiving, juking with the ball, that's all well and good, but anywhere outside the D right there, you've got to get the ball inside the box to bring that ball back out and then get dispossessed. To me, that's just not acceptable. It's just not good enough.
Ball played up this left-hand side to Tariq Mohammed as the left back advances, overlaps into the offensive end and sends it all the way to the backside. By Malik Johnson. Defensive pressure there from Penn FC, forcing him back out. Ball spun back towards the midfield and all the way back into the Toronto FC end. Tough year for their parent club this year. After a couple great years in a row, they're going to be out of the playoffs this year. Aaron Denis now right side of the box. He's a dangerous player, and a high shot goes well over the bar from the short side. Goal kick coming up for Toronto FC.
It's a good run by Aaron to the near post, hard to the byline like that. You're going to see here he has an opportunity as he cuts it to his right. He has a good opportunity just to serve the ball right to the near post for a skim, and he takes a really poor angle shot. Decision not necessarily one of which I think is the best taken.
Aaron Denis making his 15th start of the year, 22nd appearance, 3 goals, 1 assist. Had a small stretch in the middle of the season towards the end of August where he got hot, then went on national duty, play for the U.S. Virgin Islands, and when he came back, just could not regain that form. Toronto FC 2 with the ball now. Daniels, 55, plays it to the center of the field. That is Nobel Okello. He's one of those rare tall midfielders, 6'5", and they love the potential of this young man. He's got the ball now. Okello.
6'5", center mid, Brian. That's
exactly
very uncommon.
That's the thing that jumps right out at you, making his 16th start of the season. And if you look at him on the field, he definitely stands out. He's a second-year player with this Toronto FC 2 team, as many of these players are. He's a Toronto FC Academy product. They talk about him, though, in glowing terms, specifically how calm he is on the ball, and with those long strides being able to cover a lot of ground for this team. So they love what he's able to do for them and look forward to a bright future out of this 18-year-old. Foul whistled against Penn FC.
As soon as you just said 6'5", first thing that comes to my mind is he's a center back. And for the most part now he's sitting in the center mid, and if he's able to move the ball quickly, that tall, that can be very effective 18 to 18.
Buffo got bumped from behind. No call from our center official as Daniels got away with one there. They send the ball up to midfield. Calvano jostling for position. The veteran gets held and fouled by Perusa. So the restart goes to Penn FC. On the season, Penn FC 9-15-9, locked into the number 13 position overall, 5-8-3 at home. And a mark that they were hoping was going to be a lot better, as Denis is able to spin the ball towards the middle of the field. Kasana got a touch to it, not enough of it. He was affected by Robert Boskovic in the middle. And And Patterson Sewell is able to come out and grab the ball and collect it before any danger. Puts it up the field, and Harry Hawkins will send that back towards the middle. Shaibu's another guy for Penn FC. You've got two youngsters who are not locked into the defender positions as a foul is whistled against Toronto FC. You've got Shaibu at 6'4" on the Penn FC side, 19 years of age. And you have Okello at 18 years of age, 6'5" on the other side. And it looks like how both of them are playing tonight. Both of them are playing a defensive mid-roll. Very interesting. You very seldom see that.
Well, providing they're able to move the ball quickly and they can't get the ball stuck under between their feet. Usually when you're long-legged like that, you want everything right in front of you. You can step into it. You can clean messes up for the guys in front of you. But it's very challenging a lot of times to move the ball quickly when you got legs that are 5.5 foot long in some cases. So, you know, quite frankly, for a tall midfielder like that, could be a commodity if he can play quick.
Baruza can't get it by Calvano, but does win a throw here on the near side. A little bit of action coming from Mohammed, who will take the throw in. 9th minute of play almost finished. Still scoreless, Penn FC, Toronto FC. Foul going to be whistled. Calvano wants a card. A little early for one. Not going to see one yet, I don't believe, as Matthew Cerbelli is the guy who gets whistled for the foul. Another interesting thing about these two teams, Larry, is that between them, one red card on the season between them, and it happened in one of the games between them. Toronto FC's Sean Hundal, who's on the bench for them tonight, one of the options to come off of the bench for them. He was the guy who ended up getting a red card in the first matchup between these two teams.
Straight red or two?
Straight red.
Straight red.
Straight red, the only red card of the year against Toronto FC too. And Penn FC has not had one. And we don't have a foul there as Paulo Jr. goes down in a heap on the left side of the box. Determination from our center referee was that it was not callable. So it will be the restart for the visitors, and Patterson Sewell did not set that ball before kicking it, so he will be asked to do so. Select is the official soccer ball of the USL. For the latest Select products and special offers, please visit www.selectsportamerica.com. Receive free shipping on orders over $50. A low driving ball that played by Penn FC. Cassana tries to turn, double teamed immediately, and has to play it all the way back. Hawkins puts his left foot to it. Cassana will step in the way. Here comes Cassana, the goal leader for Penn FC. With 11 on the season, takes an extra bounce after losing the ball. It will be Toronto who has it. Long ball played up. Baruza waiting for a little help. Now gets around a diving Calvano. Left side of the box, plays it low, backside. Nice touch from Barone to get it away from danger, and an on-rushing Malik Johnson.
There's going to be a bit of trouble here on Penn FC's right side if Calvano continues to sell himself like that. Hitting the deck and then not being able to get back up is going to be a bit of a challenge, especially with a speedy player that Toronto's playing with outside here with his left foot. Very dangerous ball.
Throwing coming up for Toronto FC. Marko Franco usually is on that right back position. He's playing much more advanced here tonight in the early going. Leaving Calvano there, we're going to have a foul whistled against Toronto. The restart comes up for Penn FC. Hawkins will allow Pizer to get it. Pizer's one of my favorite guys on this team just because of his background. 26th start of the year for him. 39 years old. Came up in the Paris Saint-Germain youth system and has played France, Germany, Switzerland, Romania, Portugal, Canada, and the United States in his professional careers. We've got a foul off of his free kick that will give Penn FC an opportunity in a very dangerous spot of the field, about 30 yards out from goal. But Pizer has seen it all. You see a replay on this one. Aaron Denis, no question about it. Arm in the back that time, presented by Kyle Bjarnathun. interesting about the Toronto FC game notes. They would give pronunciations for Hamilton and Dunn. They gave no pronunciation for Bjornithu. Found that entertaining. So it will be Penn FC to take this one. Usually Richard Menjivar takes most of these, but he's not in the starting lineup tonight. Is on the substitute bench, but Aaron Denis looks like he's the one who's going to step over top of this one. Native of the U.S. Virgin Islands steps to it. Looks to shoot, tipped over the bar by Patterson Sewell. Not sure if he had to, but he made sure of it, and a corner kick 1-2 for Penn FC.
I think what you're going to find here, Brian, is as he steps up to hit this, the goalkeeper's got a good beat on it. He just clips it in. He's going to have to hit the ball if he's going to beat him from there. And I agree. I definitely think he had to tip it over. There's no question about it. He was a couple yards off his line, unless Denis was trying to go for a bit of a clip. But from that distance, you really got to get some muster on it if you feel like you're going to finish from there.
I believe this is Barone taking the corner. They're going to have a little conversation. You got two guys, a youngster and a veteran. And our referee wants to talk to both of them and make sure that they're getting along. So he's satisfied. They go back inside to jostle, and Penn FC plays it short. Paulo Jr., right-footed shot blocked. Back to midfield. They're going to have to play it all the way back to Pizer. So that opportunity goes by the wayside. So Pizer, no pressure right now from Toronto FC, so he just patiently holds on to the ball in the back until somebody comes towards him. Now we'll send it long. Headed by Toronto, and then won by Toronto. Aiden Daniels sends on this side to Mohammed. Calvano clips it to Franco, and then played off of Mohammed for a throw-in for Penn FC. Hawkins looks to play long quickly. The tallest 5'6" guy I know, Paulo Jr., tries to go up for that header and just misses it. I'll tell you what, for a guy who's just listed at 5'6", wins a lot of aerial challenges, does the Brazilian left winger. So it'd be Caleb Patterson Sewell. Here's a guy who has shown out since winning the starting job for this Toronto FC2 team. 19th start of the season for him. 3 clean sheets. Kasana gets bumped from behind by Boskovic, just letting him know he's there. Deposits him on the ground. Patterson Sewell has been very good of late, even though he only has 3 clean sheets. He's not gotten a ton of help sometimes in the back. He's had to make some very athletic saves. This ball's going to be played back dangerously to him. He's not going to be able to play with the hands. That ball almost snuck by him as Denis got a touch to it, but Patterson Sewell sticks with it and sends it up the midfield. Perusa looking. Good read that time from Cerbelli, seeing he couldn't take that one. Perusa gets it back. Ball still in play. Perusa with a shot and cleared off the line very nicely by Sal Barone. A goal-saving play by Sal Barone to keep this one scoreless in the 17th minute.
This is a very, very interesting situation right here with Toronto. I mean, as they broke in on goal, Brian, you noticed that he didn't quite get the shot off. 77 was definitely off, came back on just enough to get that shot off. Very, very close. Very interesting play by Toronto, one of which they should have finished.
And a great job by Barone sneaking back. Here's a corner kick, first of the game for Toronto FC, and that was not well delivered, at least as far as what the runners were concerned. They had already collapsed in on the backside. Take a look once again. You take a look on the right side of the screen. Perusa was offside. Stayed onside just enough, but there's Barone not only doing a great job getting back, but also making sure to get it wide of the, how many times have we seen own goals on plays like that where a guy just hurries back, tries to get in the right place, and then ends up mishitting it. Barone did not make a mistake on that one.
No question. Barone had to angle his foot in such a manner that the ball hit it and curled away outside the net. You're right. Too often we've seen it where it's hit somebody, especially being off balance, and the ball does carry him back in the net. Did a great job right there.
Calvano will send the ball long. Great look down to Paulo Jr. And check that. That's Barone on the backside. Rezen drops it back to Barone, chips it over to Baffo. Prince has it and goes to Franco. Now a chip to the back post. Opportunity for Penn FC. Running onto it, deflecting it. Paulo Jr. loses it. Roan turns with it, drops it all the way back out of pressure. Hawkins finds Paulo Jr. He's knocked down. An opportunity again on a free kick for Penn FC.
You know, you almost have to see here, Brian. I mean, Toronto, every time a ball comes into Penn FC's forwards, midfielders, they're tight. They don't need that extra little bump. You know they're going to go down. You'll see the entry pass here. Just a little bit of a nudge. No need. Just stand them up, force them negative. But instead, now they've gotten 3 or 4 restarts, which they do need to capitalize on one of these. But Toronto's got to be a little smarter in the defensive third, or they're going to end up giving one of these up. It's going to result in a goal.
Very difficult for somebody to hurt you with their back to the goal, that far away from goal. But they do when they turn into a free kick opportunity.
Absolutely.
Here's a send into the box, deflects around, and Toronto FC easily clears, but a poor touch that time from Mohammed. Will give it right back on the throw to the home side. Prince Buffo, the Ghanaian, one of several players on this team on loan from Inter Allies FC, a team from the Ghanaian First Division. Malik Johnson, good pressure that time from Paulo Jr. for some passes under duress. There's Malik Johnson, tries to turn. Ball won by Penn FC, last touch by Malik Johnson. Johnson not happy about that, but he's a guy who wasn't even going to be in the starting lineup today, a 4th-year player for this Toronto FC 2 team. He's seen time very briefly with the big club. Talk about that in a second after this is dealt with. Mohammed plays in the middle. Here's Calvin Resend on a wide open look. 1-2 with Kasana. The last touch was a little off. Buffo wins it. Kasana trying to play it back to him and cleared away from the back line by Toronto FC. Franco. Now to Shaibu. Hawkins looks to advance. Put down and knocked down. Aaron Denis. And I think they're very close to having enough of Nobel Okello, who has been whistled for several fouls now in that midfield area. They have not given him a card yet, but that may be the last admonishment from our center referee. Definitely clipped him that time. We were talking about Malik Johnson there for a second as one of these players for Toronto FC had a chance. Back in 2016 with Toronto FC, the big club played in the Canadian Championship semifinals with them. A victory that day with them, but that's been his only appearance with the big club. Still waiting with 4 years with this Toronto FC 2 team for his opportunity. Malik Johnson's still just 20 years old though. Here's a free kick opportunity well over the mark. The opportunity for Paulo Jr. goes high.
You know, Brian, one thing I've noticed about Penn FC, when they found some success from the midfield stripe in, is when they've connected some smaller balls, looking for some combinations, looking for something cheeky around the top of the box. They found some success with that, trying to flight balls in, trying to find their forwards that are a bit undersized. To me, is almost a wasted ball. You would almost say it's more like a 50-50 ball. But they have found some success when they played smaller, tighter, quicker, and cleaner.
Penn FC once again, first team to the ball in the back. Toronto FC cannot maintain a possession. Good step that time. Okello stepped towards the ball, beats the other guy who's as tall and as young as he is, Shaibu, to it, and wins the foul for his team. You see him stepping in front of Shaibu, who just waited for the ball instead of checking to him.
That's actually tremendous anticipation, the way he stepped in like that, and not to mention quick.
Speaking of the younger players, who are the young standouts competing in the USL you need to know about? Check out the 2018 USL 20 Under 20 throughout this week at USLsoccer.com as we reveal the best players aged 20 and under in the league this season. The final 3 on that list were revealed today, so that entire list of 20 players is out for everyone to take a look at. Some great stuff all season long, as you would expect from USLsoccer.com on their website. If you want to know anything about USL Soccer, It is a great site to go to. You learn a lot every time you go out. Hawkins with a clear. Shaibu plays it off the back heel of our referee. And Toronto is the beneficiary of it. Still scoreless midway through this first half of play. Penn FC, Toronto FC, good anticipation from Prince Buffo. He's got it cutting to the inside. Good shoulder challenge that time. As even after he made the mistake, Tate Campbell turned and got back in time to make the play. Campbell has it now. Bumped off the ball by Denis. Franco finds an open Kasana in the middle of the field. Turns, looks, nobody home because of a deflection. A little bit of room on this right side. They'll explore it and bring it back. Toronto FC 2, coached now by Michael Rabaska. Took over mid-season for this team. Interesting stuff about him. He's a former U.S. national team scout. Took over the Toronto FC Director of High Performance position, which is a unique position. He was at the Director of High Performance 2014 until this year, until he took over the head job here. It's a job focused on the cognitive and neurodevelopment of players. So a very unique way to try to develop players, and that's what he's in charge of, and now has brought this to the Toronto FC 2 team. It's amazing, Larry. I have a feeling when you were playing, you didn't have anybody in charge of neurodevelopment for your squad.
No. Well, they had neurodevelopment. If you weren't hitting the target, they'd send you to talk to a psych doctor that would try to figure out why you're not doing it. You know, but there was nothing electronic in any which way, shape, or form. So very, very interesting. Although it's having 3 kids that play a college sport. My youngest daughter plays field hockey, and the things that they have available to them now that monitors how many hours they sleep, what they do during the day, how many steps they're taking, you name it, it's crazy.
Up the right side, Prince Buffo has that slid away from it. You want a sport in college that's growing right now that does all of that sort of thing. Esports right now, it is amazing some of the things that they do right now with the video game end of things. And you would think, it's just a bunch of kids playing video games. No, there is a ton of training and things, film work, things to study that they do, and constantly working on that sort of thing. Is unfortunately for Penn FC, Prince Buffo has stayed down after that challenge. We'll look again as Mohammed came in with the slide, got the ball first, clipped the left ankle of Prince Buffo, and he has not regained his footing since that time.
Yeah, there's no question he had a bit of a roll there. It got stuck underneath his body when he went out, but that's a stinger. That is one that's not easy to get up from.
So the trainer's out there taking a look at him right now.
So, Brian, your comment about esports, oddly enough, I happened to be watching something the other day where there are collegiate scholarships for that.
Yes, definitely.
It's mind-boggling.
It's growing, and they're actually predicting within the next 10 years or so that esports may be bigger than any other sport that's out there.
So, along with that, and I may be treading a thin line on this one, but along with that, where does the activity come in?
I can't tell you that.
Because, today's day and age, so many kids are playing sports that they're not out active. They're not riding bikes. They're not out at the park. They're not being active, being, for the lack of better terms, healthy. So where does that come in at?
That's a good question, but right now the money is in those sort of sports as well, as Buffo is still waiting to get back in the game. Denis will cross, looking back post, nobody home, as Paulo Jr. had come too far in for that ball to be dangerous. Here comes Toronto FC looking to counter. Okello. Those long strides, brings it over here to the near side. Mohammed will play it back to him. There's Daniels. Long touch, finds the foot of a Penn FC player instead, and here comes Paulo Jr. Sprung on the left side with a little room. Kasana's in the middle. Cuts back to his favorite right foot. That ball's not going to get there, as Resend was making a run but couldn't get there in time to make it a menace for Patterson Sewell. So Toronto FC had a little bit more of the possession recently. Beginning of this game, it was all Penn FC for the most part as far as possession, but this youthful Toronto FC2 side has picked it up a little bit more in that area more recently in this game. Well,
there's no question that Penn FC came out and was 0-60 within the first 30 seconds and went at them as hard as they possibly could. And Toronto weathered the storm, has done a nice job of weathering the storm. And now the possession has kind of become a little bit more 50-50, but they have done a nice job of absorbing Penn FC for the most part and has been able to connect some passes, but still are in that stage where they're not necessarily willing to open up.
Last game between these two teams was back on June the 9th here at FNB Field. Maybe one of the most entertaining games of the season. A controversial penalty given in the 4th minute of stoppage time as Penn FC in a 2-2 game called a handball in the box, which on replay did not appear to be a handball. And Jerry Ortiz, who was with the club at that time for Penn FC, was able to convert the penalty kick in the 97th minute and win the game for Penn FC 3-2.
Boy, but what a brutal way to leave that game. They probably blew the whistle immediately after the PK was taken. What a brutal way to lose that.
You see Prince Buffo. Looks like his night might be over. Anytime you're walking with the trainer at this point, Penn FC right now playing a man down, and they will make the substitution as soon as they possibly can. Looks like Fabio De Sousa is going to be checking on. 3rd appearance of the year coming up for him. Aaron Denis, a chance they're going to call him for a foul, and he had his shot deflected anyways. So a brief moment of excitement as he knocked down Kyle Bjornathun. And it will be Fabio De Sousa making the appearance for Penn FC, the New Jersey native. Just 20 years old. Gets a little bit more run on the field over here on this right side. It was a bundle of energy the other night, although it was at times energy that was a little bit too energetic. Picked up a card in very short minutes on Tuesday night in their loss to New York Red Bulls 2. This Penn FC team has struggled recently. Winless in their last 6, 5 of those being losses. Just a single draw during that time. And this has all been on the home stretch, as they called it. This Penn FC last 9 games of the season were at home. They were hoping they could make a run towards the playoffs, but their form of late has been poor. And because of that, they will get to watch everybody else. Franco clipped by Muhammad and goes down in a heap. You see the possession stats there. Toronto has actually really taken over on that number. Now up 56-44. Rare that we see Penn FC that far behind in possession here in the months of September and October. See this foul here. Franco had established position, and right over top of the foot goes Muhammad.
That's just an actual poor touch from Toronto, and I'll tell you, on a brisk night like that, and he rubs his cleats right around the top of your shoes, and that does not feel good. That's
a one that hurts, no question. Play Wheel of Fortune, the new scratch-off from the Pennsylvania Lottery for your chance at top prizes of $100,000. Players must be 18 or older. Please play responsibly. Benefits older Pennsylvanians every day. Ball headed towards the box. Kasana can't get there before it gets to the hands of Patterson Sewell. So Toronto FC with possession in the back, and Patterson Sewell will just move everybody up the field. Still waiting for the opening salvo in this game. Scoreless, Penn FC and Toronto FC 2. We talked before about these two teams and the destination they're going to have. Ball sent back into play. Deflected around. Hawkins will clear it near midfield. Penn FC will take next year off with the expectation that they will in 2020 be in a soccer-specific stadium and will return in USL League One. That is the plan that has been announced by their owner, Eric Pettis, a guy who has done just wonderful things for soccer in the Harrisburg and the greater Harrisburg area in allowing them to have professional soccer here through first the Harrisburg City Islanders for many years, and then this year after the rebranding with Penn FC. So that is the plan for Penn FC. And if that is the case, they will get to meet Toronto FC too there in that year, because next year they will be one of the charter members. Kasana, a little bit of a run. Bjornathun is able to get there first. Toronto FC 2 is going to be one of the charter members next year of USL's League One. We'll talk a little bit more about that coming up at halftime with USL's rebranding. Aaron Denis with it for Penn FC. Kasana bumped on the way down, and they caught him as they end up whistling Boskovic for the foul. Now he is number 49, one of the center backs for this Toronto FC 2 team. Robert Boskovic, one of many players from the Ontario area. You see him clip Kasana on the way by. Boskovic making his team high 29th start of the season. Next close is the guy next to him, Bjornathun, who has 25. So your center back pairing has been pretty consistent. Move the other people around. And here's a chance for Penn FC on a restart. Polo Jr. looking backside. Shaibu heads it towards goal. Still a little too far out, but a shot nonetheless that Caleb Patterson-Sewell has no problem with. Mohammed. Hard touch that time by the youngster. But Okello gets it back. Can't win the ball from Calvin Resent.
You know, Brian, I've been very impressed with Okello's presence on the pitch so far tonight. I mean, he's been very active, very busy, shows some desire, some fight to want to compete. Good, clean first touch for a guy that's got that type of size. You know, I can see why Toronto has high aspirations for him.
Right now, he's going to get to put it on the back burner for a second as Toronto FC looks to counter. There he is with it. Okello over to Mohammed. Good pressure on the side by D'Souza, forces a quick pass from Daniels and a giveaway. Resend finds Denis over on this right side. Can they turn it into something for Penn FC? Ball played by D'Souza, back out to Franco. Chance to cross, sends it in, looking backside, and Patterson-Sewell sees it goes over the end line harmlessly for a goal kick. There's number 23, Marko Franco. A good addition to this squad this year for Penn FC. 25th start for him. A birthday this past Saturday. Played 4 years with the Indy 11. And in that time, one of the more popular players with the Indy 11. And here comes the goal kick. So we have about 10 minutes left to go here in the first half, depending on stoppage time. And another push in the back this time. He had two different places here, and I think we're going to see a card coming. Perusa is the first one who ended up clipping someone from behind. Ramu Pizer is absolutely incensed right now that nobody has shown any sort of cards with the pushes, the clips, the little extra things at the end that you can get away without.
Well, some of these are right now. That to me looked to me like a natural and normal challenge. That if he gets a card out of this, it could be influenced just by the crowd's reaction to it or the way that Penn FC reacted to it. I didn't think he went up with his shoulder. I thought it was head to head maybe. But, you know, again, of course, we have the replay, so just in the flow of play, it didn't look like it was anything dangerous or something that really warranted a card, and I don't think he's been involved with many altercations thus far tonight.
We're going to have a nice conversation. It will be a yellow card to both Perusa and Thiago Calvin in his last game. Gets a yellow card.
I have to be honest, I do think that was, if anything, the card was influenced, or that could have been after the play, because I didn't see that the foul really warranted that, but
I'll be honest with you. It's apropos that Thiago Calvin, the yellow card leader for this Penn FC team, does get one. Let's take a look again at what happened. Ball goes up. Perusa, now Absolutely drilled Sal Barone in the middle of the chest with that late shoulder challenge. Calvano trying to stick up for his teammate, pushes Perusa afterwards and picks up a card of his own. Ball in the front. Here's Penn FC turning on the left side. Double team on Paulo Jr. Gets it away from him, but over the sideline for a throw. Roan's back up. He's fine. He's a New York kid anyway, so he's a tough guy. To the inside. Penn FC has it deflected. One in the middle. There's a chance for Campbell. To the outside, spinning on it. So Belly Wood was on it. To the outside of Johnson. They'll play it around the back. This near side, Daniels finds Bjornathun, tries to play it centrally. Quick deflection off Mohammed, who was making an inward run from his right back position and could not control it and cleared up the other end.
Well, that was much better by Toronto as they built out of the back and they were combining in small spaces, trying to find the forward up on top. Just a little unfortunate being able to find his feet.
Stay up to date with all the best from social media around the USL by watching Off the Post with Kelsey Steele every Friday evening on the USL's social media channels. Still scoreless. Penn FC, Toronto FC 2. Brian Kaiser along with Larry Julius. Another bump in the back from Toronto FC. And again, Larry, you wonder what the advantage of that is because you're not seeing it. Dante Campbell that time on the call. Is it an effort just to try to slow things down and not allow Penn FC to try to counter?
Well, I mean, there's certain things you would want to call as a professional foul. To me, there's been way too many of them, and at some point now he's going to have to throw a yellow, somebody coming in the back like that because it's getting a little out of control, and I see zero value in that. It's at midfield.
D'Souza finds a charging Franco, but he can't take enough off of that one to keep it in play. So we'll go over the far sideline for a throw-in.
There must have been at least 7 or 8 so far tonight in the first half, just coming in tight. You can always get snug. You can get in and let him know, put your hand on his lower back, hey, I'm here. But to come in their back the way they're coming in, at some point there's going to be a yellow card thrown if this continues.
They're going to send the throw-in a little bit further back as that's Tim Kubelt, who's trying to sneak forward a little too far. Kubel's in his first year with this team. He's a guy, that right back position, who had played with the reserve squads of Borussia Dortmund and Schalke back in 2011 through 2014. So a little more veteran presence, one of those rare guys on this team that's over the age of 23. He's a ripe old age of 25 back there at the right back position. D'Souza is going to pick up a yellow card as he ends up clipping Mohammed on the inside. And now that's interesting, Larry, because you've had a lot of contact the other way. Penn FC has not made as much contact in this game, and I'm not saying it wasn't a cardable offense. I'm just saying that comparatively, showing 2 yellows now to Penn FC versus 1 for Toronto FC does not seem to be equal.
It doesn't, and in that particular case right there, I mean, it might have been his first foul of the match. He comes in, you can tell he's trying to look for a little flick right into Cassano right there, but unfortunately, the way these players, and I hate to say this, but they go down like they've been shot, and then they're up 20 seconds later. You know what I mean? That rubs me the wrong way, not only as a coach, not only as a player, but to me, it takes away from the game, and it does not sit well with fans that are watching it. They think all soccer players are soft. And I'm saying it because I hear it all the time.
All the time, no question about it. It's one of the knocks on the game from an American perspective.
Yep.
Because football is king here, and football players are known as tough guys. There are a lot of really tough guys as soccer players. One of them on the ball right now. Lucky Cassano. Good look to the backside. Paulo Jr. a little bit too far over. Doesn't have an angle. Tries to turn. Sends it to the inside. Well played out by Toronto FC 2 out to midfield. Hawkins will keep it into the offensive half. The turn by Barone. Barone with the left foot. Shot wide of the mark. Good effort that time, though, from Sal Barone.
Now you saw that time, Toronto pressed him a little bit, got into him just enough to let him know he was there, and then he kind of backpedaled, took him off, gave Barone the opportunity to really open up and then have a free opportunity on this.
Kasana's opportunity on that backside initially. Toronto FC thought that Paulo Jr. might be offside. Didn't matter anyways. We are still scoreless, Penn FC and Toronto FC. This would be, if this would continue this way the entire time, this would be shocking because the two teams have combined to give up a lot of goals on the season between them in the games that they've played so far. 66 if you put them together. The two teams have given up 124 goals together. That's almost 2 per game each. Toronto FC has given up more goals than anybody else in the USL's Eastern Conference, 77 of them. And this Penn FC team has given up a lot of goals recently. 5 straight games they've given up 2 or more tallies for the opposing team. They've been outscored during the home stretch, these 8 home games that they've had, 15-6. There's an opportunity for Toronto FC here in the 44th minute of play. We're going to have a whistle. I don't have the slightest clue what this one is.
He's calling a handball, and as it developed, you could see they're clearing a ball, and it just hits him in the arms. To me, that's a play on.
They'll stop it anyways for it. Hawkins, the Englishman, puts his left foot to it. Flicked forward by Denis, looking for Paulo Jr. as we enter the last minute of regulation play here in the first half. And these two teams will not be making the playoffs. This is the last appearance of the year for these two teams, and also the last appearance in the top division, at least for now, for either one of these squads. Opportunity. Resend sends it to the middle. Opportunity on the opposite side. D'Souza gets a touch to it. Inside, Denis looking for a way to toe up that right foot. Fires with the right. It goes wide. Looked like it was deflected. It was. Last touch by Tariq Mohammed for a corner kick for Penn FC. We'll also look at our 4th official, Robert Ryan, who is over there ready to let us know how much stoppage time. There will be a minimum of 2 minutes of stoppage time added to the end of this first half.
This is a little better from Penn FC on that one, Brian. Looking to get a shot off by dribbling a little bit more direct to the frame.
Paulo Jr. goes short. Opportunity missed by Denis. Now back to Paulo Jr. Resend can't get his foot to it. Cleared up to midfield by Toronto. Franco will play it all the way back to Pizer. Great opportunity that time for the home team. But still, no scoring in this one. Up the field they go. Resend slips, turns, cuts to the inside. Paulo Jr.'s touch is too hard, but gets it right back. Toes it over towards Resend. Here's a chance. Does Toronto FC have a chance to counter? No, they don't, because of a great step in by Thiago Calvin. And the Brazilian defender playing his last career game. He is retiring after this game after an 18-year career. So Toronto FC 2 in their own end, knowing there's not a lot of time left to go here in the first half. So they're going to take a little bit more time to try to slow things down. Ball played to the middle. Kasana has to go through him. Calvano will play it all the way back to Pizer. Perusa goes flying in there to force a little bit more errant touch. Just about at the end of this first half, we'll have a talk with Penn FC head coach Raul Voss to start our halftime show. And some other features from around the league to catch you up with what's going on in the USL. We have played one half here from FNB Field in Harrisburg. It's Penn FC 0. Toronto FC 2-0. Back with a halftime show after this on ESPN+.
Cougar Hill Townhomes is the official housing partner of Penn FC. The rental community located in Susquehanna Township features 3-bedroom townhomes with attached garages and optional finished basements. The community features 6 beautiful floor plans, a state-of-the-art fitness facility, and an off-leash dog park. For more information on the community, visit www.crookedhillapts.com. Crooked Hill Townhomes, the best in luxury living at Central PA.
All across Pennsylvania, families are living their lives in their own homes. Not long ago, none of these families believed it possible. And then they discovered there was someone who could help. What was once only a dream is now a reality. Welcome home.
Did you know all electronics must be recycled? It's the law. But more importantly, it's the right thing to do.
At the recycling center, Dauphin County residents can recycle older broken TVs, computers, cell phones, laptops, major appliances, even paper.
The recycling center is conveniently located on Cameron Street in Harrisburg. It makes recycling fast, safe, and simple.
Stop by the Dauphin County Recycling Center today and help us recycle the right way.
From Times Square to your local community, from local sports to international conventions, Invika has changed the broadcast and video landscape, bringing professional quality and service to organizations across the globe. Through professional, college level, and local sports, festivals, competitions, parades, and telethons, conferences, and commercials, Invika is bringing the power of video to more people and markets than ever before. Have a project you need covered? Check out our website for more information. Invika, providing affordable HD video solutions.
Back here at halftime, FNB Field, Toronto FC 2 and Penn FC tied 0-0. Let's go down to Brandon Murray with a talk with Coach Raul Voss.
Thank you, gentlemen. Coach Voss there honoring Thiago as we speak here. He had a couple of really nice long balls there in the first half. Tell us about what he's been able to do and what he means to the club.
Yeah, Thiago is huge here for the club. He's, I said it earlier in the interview, basically a coach on the field. He helps all the young guys. He creates a very good atmosphere in the locker room, and he can help everybody here, especially our younger players. He's very good, very big asset here for them to learn how to be a good professional.
Perfect. Lots of good possession there in the first half. Do you feel like you're on the verge of finding the net?
I was happy with the midfield play. When we got to the final third offensively, we weren't sharp enough, our crosses weren't good enough, so that needs to change. We got to do a better job there to score that.
Very good. Best of luck in the second half. Thank you, Coach. Back to you, gentlemen. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. And with Thiago Calvin right now being honored down on the field right now for his retirement, Penn FC's also put something together here for our TV broadcast to commemorate the career of Thiago Calvin.
Yeah, Thiago, I mean, I know him from years before, played many times against him. Absolute class act person, extremely important for the locker room, helping all the younger guys. He's basically a coach on the field, and he's been really big for us, fantastic. Only good things to say about him.
Towards the near post, Thiago Calvin!
We've talked about it for weeks, because the corners that Minnesota need to be better on. You see Calvin getting the flick on, he takes the
Simon, who is on side, doesn't have a lot of support. That's a good tackle from the Brazilian Thiago.
Great position he's taken up.
Great Goodwin with the corner to the back post. The header from Mitchell, it's in the back of the net. And it's Thiago Calvano.
Basically, guy, you pick a side and you see where Calvano goes.
Calvano at the 79:01 mark. Calvano with the penalty kick. And oddly enough,
a good clean strike. The keeper went the opposite way, and that's in the back of the net. And Thiago Calvino will be missed for Penn FC and in the soccer community itself as a player. And congratulations to him on a great career for 18 years. We are at halftime. Penn FC, Toronto FC 2, tied at 0-0.
Let's go back to find out what's going on with USL right now, because the rebranding is really taking over everything in the headlines going into the playoffs. And welcome back here to FNB Field. Penn FC, Toronto FC 2, scoreless at the half right now. Let's take a look at our USL Team of the Week. Romario Williams, Atlanta United 2, is your Player of the Week. And congratulations to all those guys on that list. There's going to be one more of those Teams of the Week to come out next week before we go into the playoffs. Golden Boot, Golden Glove races down to the final weekend. Cameron Lancaster has pretty much put away the Golden Boot, though had 2 goals the other night on Tuesday for Louisville City. He's got 24 in the season, 5 ahead of his nearest competitor. Dan Lind of the Pittsburgh Riverhounds leads the Golden Glove race right now. And with him, Pittsburgh has tied Rochester Rhinos' record of 17 shutouts in a regular season. Still has 1 game to go. Phoenix FC also is in that conversation, but Pittsburgh has tied that. And with a shutout tomorrow, they play the New York Red Bulls 2 to close out the regular season. They would take that record overall. There's your USL rebranding and how things are going to be. The championship is the top level. League One is the second level, and that's going to debut next year. And an opportunity for players to build and get up. This Toronto FC 2 team will be in League One, and the original press announcement would be that this Penn FC team is looking to re-enter League One. We've heard other things where they may even be looking for the USL Championship at some point, but as of right now, what the last thing that has been published, League One is where they are planning to try to come back into in 2020. And USL League 2, which is currently the Premier Developmental League, that is League 2, and that's where 70% of the MLS draftees played sometime in that developmental league, and that now becomes that USL League 2. So it's very clear what that rebranding is and why it's in place in that way. Standings right now, we take a look at them. FC Cincinnati's clinched the 1. Louisville City, with their win, has clinched the 2. Pittsburgh's the 3. Charleston will be the 4. The question is, who's going on the road where? Indy 11, New York Red Bulls, both with games left today. Nashville still has a game left, as does Bethlehem Steel. Ottawa Fury played earlier today, and we're going to take a look at that in just a second. They lost to the Charleston Battery 2-0, so it pretty much locks things up in terms of the playoffs, because the other thing you see there is Charlotte and North Carolina FC tied at 1-1. For North Carolina to have a chance to make the playoffs, they would have to win today Bethlehem Steel would have to lose their game tomorrow, and the difference, goal differential-wise, would have to be 6 goals difference between the two teams. With that game being 1-1 right now, it's not looking good for that to happen. The other games that you see are pretty much scoreless. Nashville is in that playoff trying to fix their where they're going to be. That game doesn't kick off until 8:30 against them and FC Cincinnati later tonight. We're going to step out for another break. When we come back, we're going to take a look at first half highlights and the statistics. Penn FC, Toronto FC 2 in a scoreless battle at halftime here on ESPN+.
All across Pennsylvania, families are living their lives in their own homes. Not long ago, none of these families believed it possible. And then they discovered there was someone who could help. What was once only a dream is now a reality. Welcome home.
Did you know all electronics must be recycled? It's the law, but more importantly, it's the right thing to do.
At the Recycling Center, Dauphin County residents can recycle older broken TVs, computers, cell phones, laptops, major appliances, even paper.
The Recycling Center is conveniently located on Cameron Street in Harrisburg. It makes recycling fast, safe, and simple.
Stop by the Dauphin County Recycling Center today and help us recycle the right way.
From Times Square to your local community, from local sports to international conventions, Invika has changed the broadcast and video landscape, bringing professional quality and service to organizations across the globe. Through professional, college level, and local sports, festivals, competitions, parades, and telethons, conferences, and commercials, Invika is bringing the power of video to more people and markets than ever before. Have a project you need covered? Check out our website for more information. Invika, providing affordable HD video solutions.
And welcome back here to FNB Field. Brian Kaiser along with Larry Julius. It is scoreless at halftime between Penn FC and Toronto FC 2. We're going to take a look at the highlights from a scoreless first half. These should be gripping because there weren't really a lot of opportunities. Really, that was the first one of the game. That was 25 seconds in. Penn FC was the aggressor in a lot of this first half, but shot after shot either being just off the mark or Caleb Patterson-Sewell, who we talked about in the preview of the game, there was that opportunity cleared off the line by Sal Barone. But outside of that, Larry, it has been few and far between for opportunities for either one of these teams to have good scoring chances in this first half.
Well, it really has, Brian. I mean, opportunities have been just a little bit off. Both teams kind of sitting back in. I thought Toronto did a nice job of staying nice and compact. I think Toronto really had very few opportunities to even get in behind Penn FC. However, at this point in time in the second half, now they're going to have to open things up a little bit if they want to try to earn a result out of this thing. 0-0 result the last game of the season isn't really something that I don't think would sit well with either team.
I would agree with you, and you see right now Toronto FC 2 just one shot in that first half, and for Penn FC 9 shots, but they only forced 2 saves on that opportunity. In fact, the only save of the first half not listed there because it doesn't count as one is Barone's clearance off the line. Other than that, Toronto FC has been very anemic in their offensive attack. You'd have to expect them to try to find some way to inject some energy in the second half into their attack.
And some of these teams come in, especially on the road like that, they want to sit in, they want to absorb, they want to see what Penn FC is going to bring at them. And, of course, you know, they did step on the gas right out of the get-go. But after a while, Toronto did hold a lot of the possession, but just were very, very minuscule on the offensive third. So, you know, if they want to get in this game and they want to make something happen, they're really going to have to step up and start to press in the offensive third. They can't just sit in and just hope for one over the top or somebody do something miraculous, because it's just not going to happen.
I'd like to read something very quickly passed along to us by the Penn FC organization with Thiago Calvin playing his final game. I'd like to congratulate
Penn FC defender Thiago Calvin, an impressive 18-year professional soccer career. Penn FC would like to thank him for his contributions to the club and to the community. His time and commitment are appreciated. It's been a pleasure to watch him on the field. We wish him the best of luck in his future endeavors. There he is, number 5, wearing the captain's armband for the last time. Thiago Calvin. And of course, in typical Thiago Calvin fashion, picked up a yellow card in the first half. Let's just hope he doesn't pick up another one here in the second half, because that would put Penn FC a man down at some point, as these two teams waiting for the officials to come back to the pitch, warming up a little bit as we get set for half number 2 between Toronto FC 2 and Penn FC. Still scoreless after one half of play. Penn FC in the blue kits with the white trim. You've got Toronto FC in the reds. There's the select soccer ball. You get a good look at that. The USL has played with the entire season. I think we're about set to go here for half number 2. 45 more minutes to play here in the regular season for these two teams. No playoffs for either one, so this is the last chance to get something accomplished here in the USL regular season for Toronto FC 2 and Penn FC. Underway here in the second half. We'll see if there's any substitutes. Barone slips, and Malik Johnson gets by him. Job by Resend, held up by Johnson on the way to the ball, and a foul is whistled by our official.
You know, multiple times tonight, Brian, we've seen quite a few players slip, and originally it looked like they were slipping a bit at the infield, but I've noticed now throughout the course of the pitch, and it's a cool night, so it's not so much that it's been wet, but it's interesting because I see a lot of chunks also. I wonder how wet that surface actually is, with not a whole lot of rain in the last couple days.
We quickly have another whistle as a piggyback ride has been given by Aaron Denis. It was not an intended one, so Nobo Okello gets another talking to. Quick restart for Penn FC. They're not going to allow it. So you see, that's a big boy on the back to be able to try to carry. Okello, again, we said 6'5", a very rare defensive midfielder who has that sort of height. Usually those taller players like that end up in that center back position or on the front line, one or the other.
Sure.
But he has midfielder skills, and very excited is the organization for Toronto FC about his potential. So we have settled things down now. Here is Paulo Jr. Didn't get all of that one. Bjornathun plays it out to the outside. Giveaway in the back. Penn FC turning. Now we're going to see a yellow. No question about it. You got a foul before, you got a talking to. About 30 seconds later, a hard foul again, and that's the yellow card for Nobel Okello. So Okello picks up the yellow in the 47th minute of play. It's right underneath the legs of Fabio De Sousa, who had to come into the first half for Penn FC in place of the injured Prince Buffon.
You know, that's unfortunate for him because that's going to change the way he's going to have to play the remainder of this game at this point. He's going to have to step off and not be as aggressive as he has been, and he's been an effective player for him.
Take a look at the players available for each team off the bench in just a moment. But first, Penn FC with a free kick. Paulo Jr. steps over the ball, and nobody was ready to go. Very slow start to this second half of play. Whistle puts it back in play. Paulo Jr. with the right foot. Goes in with the left. Curled into the back post. A shot, and just wide. Thiago Calvin a chance to cap the retirement party with a goal of his own. Can't quite find it.
Well, by far, that was the best service, as you're going to see. He gets whipped in with his left foot towards the back post. The best service of the night. And Thiago just a little slow getting over. He didn't think it was going to make it.
Ball played into the Penn FC end. Calvano there, plays it back to his keeper. Heiser blasted up near midfield. Flipped over to the near side, last touch by Toronto FC. So the Penn FC with the throw-in. Barone to take this. Hawkins. And all the way back to his keeper once again. Pizer on the season, his 26th start, 5 clean sheets for him so far this season. Here's an opportunity, but offsides is the call. Malik Johnson had 2 different players that he could have passed to, neither one in an onside position. The linesman on the near side makes the call.
You know, good awareness by Penn FC to step up and hold their line tight. But then again, on the Toronto side, I mean, at least they're showing a little initiative to want to get in behind right there. Good slip ball, just a little too early on the penetrating.
Available for Toronto FC tonight, they have 6 subs. They have their backup keeper, Borja Anguidia. You have also Tsubasa Endo, who I would not expect to be available since it was a late switch that took him out of the starting lineup. Malik Hamilton, Luca Petrasso, Sean Hundal, and Ayo Akinola. That is your bench for Toronto FC tonight. For Penn FC, they've already gone to Fabio De Sousa. So they have 2 more substitutes available. The backup keeper tonight is Sean Lewis. Chris Hill is on the bench. Chris Hill is an interesting story. In his 3rd year with the franchise, if I'm not mistaken, still has not had an official USL appearance in those 3 years. If he gets one tonight, he's played a couple of the other type of games, the US Open. Here's Casano with a shot. Patterson Sewell with the save. De Sousa chases it down. Toes it back in, over the heads of both Denis and Casana, and cleared away. So here is Penn FC, who will regroup, send it over to the near side. Barone chips it into the box, nobody home. Talking about the subs for Penn FC. Jake Bond, Richard Menjivar, along with Chris Hill, available for this one. Walter Ramirez is available. Had an assist the other night. Here's a chance. Aaron Denis, shot! Wide of the mark. Looked good from here, but it's not the best vantage point to see one from straight on. And Aaron Denis had an open goal to shoot at and couldn't find a spot on it.
Well, as you're going to see here, it's a great entry pass here, and you're going to watch Mukasana come in. Sewell Patterson has to do a much better job with that. He parries it. This here's the one. Denis gets a hold of this one so well. Froze Sewell Patterson. There was no movement on that ball. He just said, I hope it doesn't go in, because he wasn't moving an inch.
Did not miss it by much. High side to the near post. Still off the mark and keeps it scoreless here in the 52nd minute. Penn FC really starting to threaten now. Ball played centrally. Toronto FC still looking. A turn, a hold by Barone was found and whistled by our official. Wasn't sure he was going to call it at first. Barone had his arms on the shoulder of Malik Johnson. So the restart for Toronto FC, 2 in the back. And a much needed break for a moment for them after absorbing a lot of pressure there in their back third.
Yeah, there's no question, similar to the first half, that Penn FC came out and stepped on the gas, because immediately they came right out and they applied a lot of pressure to Toronto. Toronto did well to absorb that. I must say they've done a nice job of absorbing. But needless to say, now Penn FC's got to come out and they got to continue. If they want to leave this island on a positive note, they absolutely have got to keep their foot on the gas. They cannot afford to sit in and allow Toronto to start to connect passes and keep the ball. Right now, you're leaving the island for minimum 1 year. And so now you want to find a way to get a result and please the amount of fans that have come out on a bit of a brisk night.
Here's a turn by Resent. Step overs twice. Plays it looking centrally. And Paulo Jr.'s touch cannot keep it in the offensive end. Shaibu turns. He turns forward. Casana with a nice run to try to get there. Does not do so. Toronto FC triple teamed on the side, and winning the throw is Malik Johnson. Good look at number 56, Malik Johnson. Pressure on him on that play. Did well to win it. Paulo Jr. flicks it forward. Penn FC. Backline Boskovic to Bjornathun. He'll turn and send it up the field with the left foot. Trying to play around the veteran Marko Franco. That's not going to work. Campbell, header backwards. Now a little bit of pressure. Boskovic gets it away from Kasana. It's been an interesting matchup all night between Boskovic and the leading scorer on this Penn FC squad, Lucky Kasana. Throw in and a bump, and you know that's getting called against Calvin.
Yeah, there's no question. I mean, he's called that all night long on Toronto, and certainly got a little tight, maybe a little too tight for him, and by no means were they going to let that one go.
See, once again, at the quick throw-in surprised them. Calvin, who already is on a yellow card, just the hands in the back that time. But definitely a foul. And a restart opportunity, and you see 6'5" going forward for them in the presence of Okello, along with several others in the box. Two players standing over the ball on the far side. Steps over it, ball chipped towards the post, headed up, and Hawkins will clear it out. Danger not relieved completely yet. Toronto FC will try to play it back in, but nobody down that left side on Bjornethun. Here's an opportunity with some numbers here for Penn FC. Some blue jerseys forward. A quick run, a shot from De Sousa. Deflects off Bjornethun out. And Penn FC will last touch it for a throw.
Better penetration right there from Penn FC. I mean, coming down with some pace, getting a good shot off. Better attitude from outside the 18. A questionable call right there, or no call, I should say, Brian. That looked like he got a bit of a chicken wing on that.
Nothing called there, though, and Penn FC will have it. Shaibu plays it over the far side. Franco will turn, drop it back to Calvin. The right side, unable to keep it in that time is De Sousa. The USL's official Twitter feed keeps you up to date with news, live game updates, and highlights from around the league 24/7. Follow at USL on Twitter. Especially a good place during the playoffs with all the action that's going to be going on. A lot of fun stuff as it's the second season of the year in the USL coming up with the playoffs. No question, the favorite is FC Cincinnati, but remember one thing, FC Cincinnati in their history in the USL, 2 games, no playoff wins in the last 2 years. They were 0 for 2, knocked out in the first round both years in a row. There are some teams with some playoff pedigree that'll be waiting as we have a foul called here against Penn FC. So the restart once again will be for Toronto FC 2. In the 57th minute of play, Brian Kaiser along with Larry Julius. Glad all of those of you out there watching this game get a chance to take a look at these two teams for the last time this season. Restart coming up. Aiden Daniels is the right foot that's over top of it. That's Tariq Mohammed who has the left foot. See who bends this one in. Last time it was Daniels. Bigger bodies up front for Toronto FC2. Ready to pounce. It will be the in-swinger. Headed down, and Pizer gets it. The flag was up nonetheless. And I'm not sure what's going on there. We've got the official waving somebody over at this point. Pizer was not happy about something, and the veteran showed his displeasure by running with the ball directly towards Malik Johnson.
Well, from our vantage point, to me, Pizer was looking for something, it seemed like, where he ran right into the back of him. I didn't see a foul in any way, shape, or form. As a matter of fact, he came in, and you'll see it. He comes flying right out at him. He's maybe got a little bit of an arm out there, but not enough to really warrant. I didn't think Pizer, the bigger man, to go down like that. But needless to say, again, another foul.
Trying to get a call.
Chippy, yep, looking for a call. Not that it's going to help you back there. I'm not sure why, but
here comes Perusa. Got it on the left-hand side. Crossed into the box. Hawkins was off balance and could only toe that one over the end line for a corner kick for Toronto FC2. So a rare corner for either of these teams so far in this game. Just the second of the game for the visiting squad. Look who's right in front of Pizer. That would be Malik Johnson again. 2 of them
reacquainting themselves after a 30-second break. Here comes the opportunity with the outswinger. Set into the box it goes, headed up and over the top. Looked like the last guy there to get a piece of that might have been Dante Campbell. Campbell or Boskovic. Maybe it was Boskovic on that opportunity.
Needless to say, a very dangerous ball being whipped away from Pfizer. You're going to see this ball come in, and they get up and get ahead on it. That's dangerous.
I think it was Boskovic who was the last, but this time it's Aaron Denis again wide. He missed to the left one time, and this time he misses just wide to the right as Penn FC moved that ball quickly up the field and had an opportunity, and here it is. A lot of room there for him, just running through the midfield. And Patterson Sewell had no chance on a well-directed ball.
There's no question he gets that thing on frame to the back post that ball is going to find its way to the side netting. Very dangerous for Aaron Denis, both coming from the right and coming in from the left.
Definitely play has opened up a little bit here in the second half of this scoreless game as we are just about through with 60 minutes of this contest. 30 to go, still looking for the first goal. Trying to spring Paulo Jr. on the right-hand side. Check that, D'Souza on that right-hand side. Sometimes they like to flip-flop Paulo Jr., but without having a true left-footed player in the game right now for Penn FC, it is D'Souza playing the right, Paulo Jr. playing the left. Goal kick coming up for Toronto FC2. Play Wheel of Fortune, the new scratch-off from the Pennsylvania Lottery for your chance at top prizes of $100 grand. Players must be 18 or older. Please play responsibly. Benefits older Pennsylvanians every day. Caleb Patterson Sewell, 3 clean sheets on the season. Looking for a 4th here. If he does that, his team will finish the season with no worse than a draw, because right now we are still scoreless. Possession stats still favor Toronto FC2. Throw-in coming up for Barone for Penn FC. Despite the possession stats being what they are, the better of the opportunities in this game definitely have belonged to Penn FC.
Well, there's no question that an indirect style versus a direct style, you're going to get more opportunities off a direct style. There's no question about that.
Resend finds Denis. He's been the danger man here in the second half. Flips it wide. Here's Paulo Jr. with the right foot. Back inside. A little too strong that time, looking for the return pass from Barone.
Excellent opportunity, though. Really love the fact that they're looking to combine inside the 18 to create an opportunity. Good ball movement there by Penn FC, and you're going to see it getting whipped across right here. Does a nice job, Paulo Jr., to bring it down. Little combo, just a little strong. Unfortunate, but excellent opportunity. A couple more of those. They can crack in behind Toronto FC, possibly find the back of the net.
Marko Franco being sent to the sideline because I believe he is going to be checking out of this game. Richard Menjivar will make his first appearance of the season off the bench for Penn FC after starting 30 contests. He got nicked up at the end of the game on Tuesday night against New York Red Bulls 2. Doesn't start here tonight, but such a key player for them. Now will step into the middle of the midfield for Penn FC in the late part of this game. One of the other things that allows them to do that is they like what they're getting out of D'Souza over on that right side, being able to track back. So they go with Menjivar in place of Franco, and one sub remains for Raul Voss on the Penn FC bench.
If I were a betting man, Brian, I'm going to say that last sub is going to be for Thiago to take a last and final curtain call.
If they can do so, that would be what you would expect.
That would be idealistic, yes.
Opportunity for Toronto FC. Okello will play it back. In the middle of the field it goes. Pass to the outside. Malik Johnson getting it from Dante Campbell. Hard challenge is missed. Kasana comes all the way back from his forward position into the box to help clear things. Daniels with it. Diagonal run. Now plays it centrally. Dropped by Campbell back to Okello. Trying to go wide. D'Souza is there to play it out over the sideline. Run coming up by the overlapping left back, Mohammed. Perusa. Mohammed. Left foot is his favored. Cannot turn to it yet. A couple players over there for Penn FC force it back out of play. Another throw in for Toronto FC 2. Tariq Mohammed. First year Toronto FC Academy product with the throw. Here's Menjivar, who's gotten stuck in there and is able to clear it out to midfield, but still, the presence of the red. Toronto FC 2 sends it forward. Hawkins. D'Souza with a wild clip, misses it. They can't get the ball by the veteran Brazilian defender Thiago Calvin. There's another opportunity of Kello. There's the ball centrally, turned by Malik Johnson. Now back to Okello. Johnson turns, tries to get a step on Hawkins. Into the box he goes. Hawkins plays it high off of him. Great job by Pizer coming out. Is not going to be able to keep it in play. Yes, he does actually. Pizer's off his line right now, and a clearance, and deservedly so once again. Sal Barone is back defensively to help. Kasana looking to leak out. D'Souza is offside and doesn't get the ball to him anyways, and played all the way back to Sewell Patterson.
What a tremendous individual effort there was right there by Johnson. Again, that's the second time tonight that he's shown me his pace and his ability, his quick feet. He had one here on the right flank just short of this, and then inside the box. Good composure. Nice job. Pfizer, nice save, but nice job inside the box for Johnson, just unfortunate.
Kubel gets a clip off of the leg of Barone up the right side. Throw-in coming up for Toronto FC. It's the right back advance for a rare time in this contest. 66th minute of action, still scoreless. The home crowd here looking for some sort of action from their team. They've been more of the aggressor, but in the last few minutes have been absorbing a little bit more pressure from Toronto FC 2. Rowan comes in. Daniels. Switching the point of attack. Here comes Dante Campbell. Brings it wide to the left. Sending it up, but not through. Penn FC will try to shelter this in, and Menjivar does so over the end line. Goal kick for Penn FC. Here's the last foray as Malik Johnson. Pizer, I thought this was going to be out, but it didn't go all the way over the line. Mohammed did well to send it back the other way. And that once again was Barone on the backside, stepping in defensively to clear. Toronto FC ends up winning the challenge. But a poor ball that time, looking for Johnson on the near side. Gives Penn FC the throw. Watch highlights from every game of the 2018 season and stay up to date with news from across the USL at the league's official Facebook page, facebook.com/USL Soccer. We're going to have the first substitution of the game for Toronto FC 2. Jordan Perusa, who is on a yellow card, will check out of the game. His string of 2 straight games with goals will end. And Ayu Akinola will be the substitute. Akinola, an 18-year-old, hails from Detroit, making his 16th appearance of the season. Second on the team in goals coming into this one with 5. And the guy who has more goals than anybody else on this team who's here, Jordan Hamilton, actually is the leader of this team in goals with 8 of them, but I believe he's up with the big squad right now on the substitute bench. Hard touch that time as the big guys up front moving more forward. Nobel Okello with a hard touch, unable to keep it away from Pizer.
Penn FC dodged a major bullet on that. If he didn't have such a poor touch, he was in on frame and could have picked either side for that. Penn FC's got to clean this up in the back, or they're going to get scored upon.
Oh, this is an opportunity here. Here's Akinola. A shot wide of the mark. And actually, no, that was Tariq Mohammed who was down that left-hand side had some opportunity to pick somebody out, did not have a great angle, and instead of playing it back, trying to get him on that really tight move. And here's the opportunities that we've seen lately from Toronto FC. That ball from Akinola was a beautiful pass that Okela just wasn't ready for, and here's Mohammed running down. Serboli is there, ready to do something with that, and they didn't trust him. So a chance now. Aaron Denis at the other end. Posting up inside, trying to turn. Shot deflected, and a great save. Combination of Patterson Sewell, as well as the defender on that play, and I believe helping out on that one was Tim Kubel.
Denis, very smart, actually, to be patient right there and get his body in a position, be patient, composed. I thought for sure when he turned the corner, he was going to be able to sneak that in. Very patient, very impressed with this young man tonight. Look at here, he's got his body in there, he's holding him off, good touch, turns, just a little unfortunate, but well positioned, very well played on his part.
Bjornathun actually was the guy who was back there defending on that play, and the shot ricocheted off of both him and Patterson Sewell to deaden the ball and allow no rebound.
Well, they definitely had to sell themselves when he turned the corner. They had to definitely sell themselves for that one, because at that point, once he had beaten them both and got position on that, they had no choice but to lay their body out and absorb the shot.
Foul was called in all that on the opposite end, I believe against Thiago Calvin of Penn FC. So a restart coming up for Toronto. They are on the far side of the field. There's a ball that they can clip in. Aiden Daniels is their free kick specialist, the third-year player for this franchise. Homegrown Toronto FC Academy player. 11 caps for some of the Canadian youth teams, U17, U20, and U23. That ball is headed with no danger at all from Tim Kubel over the end line.
Brian, and watching him do that, you could tell he just was going to come up. He didn't look like he was looking to put the ball inside the 18. To me, what a wasted ball just to clip a ball diagonal, looking for the second header in. You know what he's trying to do. Everybody in the stadium knows what he's trying to do. That ball's got to be inside the danger zone, in between the top of the box, the penalty spot, giving his team an opportunity for a header. That, to me, was absolutely wasted. Just a poor decision.
Larry, I think part of what we're seeing right now is why these two teams are not going to be making the playoffs, because enough mistakes on both of the sides that have affected them during the season and not allowed more victories. Ball played by Menjivar. Good look over to Denis. He's over on this left side, trying to play in. Great job stuck in as Kubel picks his pocket. Good hustle from Resend to try to win that back. But instead, Malik Johnson gets up the sideline. Johnson then around another man, but you can't beat every double team, and that time he does not. Hawkins sends it long. Easy chest by Bjornathun the other way. Here comes Toronto FC too. They've been the more dangerous team in the last few minutes, although this game really opening up. Both these teams looking to get on the board here at some point. Akinola. Low ball gives Hawkins a little trouble. Menjivar plays it back to him, and now this is a good clearance all the way up to midfield.
Well, this has definitely really turned itself into a game where shape and balance has gone right out the window. Right now, both teams are just looking for something where they can find a gap or a seam or something over the top. It is definitely wide open, Brian, as you said, and right now, both teams eager to want to get the first goal, to want to get possibly the winning goal.
These teams have played twice this year. Both contests, a one-goal victory for Penn FC. 1-0 was the final up at Toronto. That was back in May. And in June, it was a 3-2 win in controversial fashion for Penn FC on a late penalty kick in stoppage time in the second half. Middle of the field, now over here to the near side. Paulo Jr. with it. Diagonal run towards the box. The dangerous Brazilian with the right foot. Ball deflected up in the air. Resend will try to volley. Now brings it back out. Slips a little bit in the box. Tries to turn. Has an outlet to Brune if he wants to use it. Now tries to nutmeg instead and does not get the call that he wanted. Now a chance to counter for Toronto FC as they have Malik Johnson down, stretching out here near midfield. Still no whistle as he was not in danger yet, and they're finally going to blow the play dead here in the 74th minute of play. Looks like it might be a cramp. He has to stretch out. going to see this move from Resend. He had Barone, who he could have dropped to, but instead had his hand on the head of Kubel and tried to nutmeg the other defender coming in, but wasn't getting through both.
You know, it's interesting on that. You know, you see that very often, obviously trying to just to maintain a little bit of shape, and more so to kind of be aware of where he's at, because you can't see him. So you're leaning back with the palm of your hand. It just so happens that Kubel was low, and it went right into his forehead. So there is no foul right there. And again, a good opportunity to go right through the legs inside the box. Very cheeky, very creative, but one of which you're not going to get the foul call for that. If you're going to try to go through his legs or something small like that there, you're not going to get a PK call for it.
Malik Johnson's night is over. Luca Petrasso will check in the game for Toronto FC2, the second sub off the bench of head coach Michael Rabaska. Petrasso played the last 2 years with Toronto FC3. That would be their even more developmental team. His first year here with the second team. Barone able to head the ball over top of Aiden Daniels. Now we'll get it back. Drives the ball up the midfield, Aaron Denis. Denis has been the danger man for Penn FC in the second half, but this time his touch betrays him near midfield. Good takeaway by Menjivar. Chips it down the left-hand side. Paulo Jr. is there. Plays the ball to Denis. Clips to the middle. Kasana had a chance, it was slid. And they're going to say Kasana touched it last for a goal kick. Not sure how Kasana touches that ball last, if it ends up where it ended up, Harry, but another dangerous chance created by Aaron Denis.
You got to love this here. I mean, again, little ball again. Denis once again involved. Oh, and there you see it.
Gotcha.
So you really see Denis really involved in the attack. Love to see this young man finish one off, or at least get an assist on one. He's worked so hard to create these opportunities. It really would be nice to see him cap one off for the evening.
A little over 14 minutes plus stoppage time left to go here at FNB Field in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. Still scoreless. Penn FC, Toronto FC 2. Each bench has one more move that they can make off of it. Other than that, the teams that are on the pitch are the teams that will finish this game. Throw-in coming up for Tim Kubel.
Brian Menjivar entering this game has given them that last pass that they've been missing. He's done a very nice job of being the connector where need be, trying to find the guys on their foot, something tight, and it's allowed them to be dangerous and a little bit more creative. He settled that midfield down. He's that connector that they were missing for the latter part of the match.
Shaibu struggled with it. Calvano cleared it. Almost a dangerous chance for Penn FC, but Toronto FC turns instead and comes the other way. Barone can't keep in front of Daniels. A little bit of room for him. Crosses into the box. Calvano chested high and wide. Daniels volleys it back in. Offside would have been the call, but instead walking back off of it for Toronto FC was Daniels. And now they'll send it right back. Kubel has a man on side. Akinola will redirect on frame and saved by Ramu Pizer.
Great patience, great entry ball. That ball needs to be in the back of the net. You're going to see a good negative ball right here. Well clipped in, just at the right weight. He's right there. Gets a little bit of the outside boot on it. Maybe if he's a little more patient, let it come down right
Here's a
into his
chance
head.
to Denis on side. Shot, and it's over the bar. He just didn't have the patience to keep it down.
I guess he felt like he's had so much patience all night. He finally wanted to give one a go on a volley and just let it sail away on him.
Player who, Pennsylvania by college, played at Villanova for his college ball, and then was in the NASL a year ago with Miami FC. And then before that was in the USL with Arizona United before they became Phoenix Rising. Substitution for Penn FC. This will be the last one. Jake Bond will give Thiago Calvano the curtain call. So the career is over for Thiago Calvano. Still scoreless in this one. We'll get congratulations from his teammates. Even Ramu Pizer comes all the way out of goal to do so. For Thiago Calvano, a native of Rio de Janeiro in Brazil. Played professionally in Brazil, Switzerland, Germany, and Australia before a 3-year stint with the NASL's Minnesota United. Was with the Harrisburg City Islanders a year ago, where he started 24 of their games, third on the team in minutes played a year ago. And this season with Penn FC, making 15 starts on the year, and you can see the emotion to the face of Thiago Calvin, knowing that his career professionally is over. But this game is not, as his teammates now have to try to bring it home. Still scoreless, this game looking for some sort of a tally. Scoreless draw is not what either one of these teams is looking for to end the year. They're looking for a victory to take it into the offseason. Foul called is high boot by Robert Boskovic, trying to get around Aaron Denis. And you're seeing teammates, coaches all congratulating Thiago Calvin. Now the mission at hand is to try to find one to send him home a winner tonight. Menjivar, team leader in assists with 8 of them. He'd love to have a 9th one here. Barone also back there, but it's going to be Menjivar. Clip it towards the back post. Headed out of there. Chance for the counterattack. Nice strong ball played forward. And slowed down by Serboli. Good switch to the field from Daniels, but can't find the on-rushing Mohammed in time before he slides it. Chance for Penn FC. Bond will throw forward. Mohammed sends it right back. And a foul whistled against the home team. So the restart coming up for Toronto FC. Here's an opportunity. Paulo Jr. couldn't quite get there in time on that one. Kubel has been a little bit more forward in the second half from the right back position as he was in the first. Now we'll take this throw. Javar trying to stop his man. Serboli passes over. Trying to clip into the box. Instead, it's going to be played back. Back to the middle. Akinola, as dangerous as they come on this pitch right now for Toronto FC too, but he is not allowed to turn. Ball played all the way up to a more neutral position. There's Akinola, second half sub. Flips it out to Kubel. Find Akinola again. He turns, swung around. Hawkins grabbed a hold of him. Nothing called. Akinola now will try to play wide. And Jake Bond's head gets there first. Again, Penn FC on the back foot right now. There's only Kasana forward, desperately trying to clear the ball up towards him. Kubel will keep it in play, gets around Barone, and with the right foot drives it into the box, cleared by Hawkins. Can Penn FC counter here? Here's Paulo Jr. in this 82nd minute. Over to Resend, flicks it forward. Paulo Jr.'s not going to get there in time. Daniels with it for Toronto FC2. Brian Kaiser along with Larry Julius. Waning minutes of the USL regular season for these two teams that will not be going to the playoffs. Penn FC, Toronto FC2, deadlock 0-0. Shaibu will send it long. They've moved Harun Shaibu back into a more defensive position now. The back of the pitch. Here's a chance for Toronto again. Ball played forward. Serboli. Bond gets there first, but it will be a corner kick coming up for Toronto FC2. Final substitution coming into the game for Toronto FC, as it looks like it's going to be Sean Hundal who will be the last guy in. He'll replace Tim Kubel. This is a forward for a defender, a definitely offensive-minded move by Michael Rabaska, especially with his team on the front foot right now with all the pressure they've been putting on the Penn FC net.
Well, there's no question. I mean, they have been really stepping it up here in the last 10 to 15 minutes and have put a lot of pressure on Penn FC and have been knocking on the door. They've been a little bit unfortunate. And again, now you like the move that the coach is going with. They don't want to end the season on a tie.
Ball sent into the box, headed up and out by Penn FC. Paulo Jr. is able to clear it up to the neutral third. Ball sent back towards the Penn FC end. There's a shot right on net by Petrasso. But Pizer is there. Akinola trying to play around with that. Pizer not pleased with the fact that he tried to block the punt. There's no roughing the kicker call here either.
Not in this sport.
Denis looking for Paulo Jr. making a run. Punched away by Patterson Sewell. Recognized at the last moment by Toronto FC. Barone trying to win that one, but instead it is the road team that will get the throw in. And all the way back was Daniels, who recognized the punch would have given a throw in to Penn FC in a dangerous position. They are going to shove him all the way down to the corner, though, as we see that shot from Petrasso. Throwing coming up for Penn FC. As the deflection, and Paulo Jr. has not given up with his effort. There's Aaron Denis looking for Cassana. That's going to go wide over the end line. Larry, the 2018 USL Cup playoffs kick off next week as we begin the road to the 2018 USL Cup, which will air on Thursday, November 8th on ESPN2 at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Stay up to date with matchups, brackets, kickoff times, key storylines, and much more starting on Monday at USLsoccer.com. It'll be a lot of fun. Playoff time is always when the intensity gets ramped up even more. We've seen a lot of intense matchups all season long, and the playoffs just turn it up even more. Here's Resend with a run. Gets a deflection. Cassana keeps it to the middle. Denis has a shot, and a wide of the mark, and hits the goalpost and goes out. He can't buy one right now.
Oh, what a play. Great setup. It starts with a great individual effort, then it pops off right here. Just a little bit of a pop. Then you got Cassana comes in, great feed. Denis sizes it up just outside the post. That young man has done everything but put it in the back of the net tonight.
And you just look at the exasperated look on his face right there. What do I have to do to score a goal?
It's so unfortunate because I know in his position he's probably thinking, my, what am I going to do to put this thing away? But you know what? There's still quite a few minutes left in this match. I really would love to see him finish one off. He has had one offensive presence on the pitch for these guys.
Cassana fouled, quick restart. Denis is there on the outlet. He's looking across. Into the box it goes, headed away by Toronto. Hundal cannot get it past Menjivar initially. Will now play it over to Denis. Has an outlet there to Hawkins. The left footer brings it forward. Plays it wide. Using the width of the pitch, but cannot keep it in is D'Souza.
You could tell Denis really wants to finish one off here, Brian. He's working himself back into the midfield, looking for the next ball. He's just so upset with himself that he has not converted just yet. That last effort right there was just so unfortunate.
Akinola has an on-rushing player. Hawkins is there, and Barone cleans up as he's done several times in this game. Now the ball played long. Cassana has a long run to it. Cassana gets there first. Over on the right side of the box. Lucky. It would be a lucky number 12 for him on the season to try to win this one. Bond on rushes. Crosses into the box. Denis is there, but up over top of him is the defender from Toronto FC. That was Campbell who got in there. And a foul called against Menjivar to slow things down. That would be considered more of a professional foul because there were some numbers the other way.
Yeah, there's no question. That was very, very intelligent to get a clip on him right there because there's no question they had 4v3 going the opposite direction. Menjivar has made a difference in this game, Brian, since he's come in. Just enough to unbalance him.
We're back to action. A little over 2 minutes before stoppage time in the second half. Akinola tries to play it forward. A chance for Hundal. Great save by Pizer, who gobbles it up. Cuts down the angle perfectly on the second half sub.
Good opportunity for Toronto. Hundal, unfortunately, did not need that second touch. I know he handcuffed himself just a little bit. He would have been far better served just to come in and hit the first ball. Pfizer did a great job to wrap him up.
Hawkins, well done, stepping in front of Hundal. Now plays it up to midfield. Resend is there. Plays to Cassandra centrally. Now kicking it wide to Sousa. That ball got deflected. I think may have been last touched. It was D'Souza. Here's that opportunity again. Great timing Hawkins caught flat-footed, did only get a touch to it, and that was enough to slow things down. Kasana. Up the field he goes. Shot rising the entire way. And over the bar. Goal kick coming up for Toronto.
Kasana not known for his long-range shooting. I see the attitude, good stuff, but again, it's something right there. You have an opportunity to combine, try it. You know, if you know you're not going to hit a ball from 25, 30 yards out, that's pretty much just turning the ball over.
Thiago Calvin right now encouraging his teammates. I wonder if he's speaking Portuguese or English right now to try to do that.
Good question.
I know I would be muttering in whatever language I could at this point to try to get that game-winning goal to send you home a winner. Foul in the air called against Okello. So Hawkins will restart. Barone to Menjivar. 30 seconds before we hit stoppage time. Paulo Jr. turning. Sending the ball high in the air. Aaron Denis cannot control for Penn FC. Menjivar turns. Has it and wins the throw-in. And we're about to find out exactly how much time we have left in the season. I'm going to guess about 3 here. Not sure it's going to be more than that. And it will be a minimum of 3 minutes of stoppage time added to the end of the half. Great job by Barone keeping the ball in play. Sends it, driving cross, forces a saving header off the head of Boskovic, but a corner kick for Penn FC. You have to figure here, Larry, any goal is a game winner from this point.
Absolutely, and right now this ball has got to be put right in between the spot and the 6. Something dangerous, but must come in with pace.
Menjivar is the target as far as the guy who's going to take this ball. A lot of guys in the box. Penn FC putting everyone forward almost. Ball sent in. Cleared. A shot. D'Souza only got a piece of that one. Chance for an opportunity to leak out. And here comes Toronto FC. Akinola. D'Souza on the chase. On the right side. Akinola trying to go to Hundal. And that's going to be offside. No doubt on that one, as Akinola would have been better served that time to try to rip a shot on that one, and instead playing the ball forward with just light pressure from D'Souza. Credit D'Souza for giving chase, but dodging a bullet there time.
D'Souza did a nice job putting himself in between the passer. Unfortunately, you are right on that. He has got to take an extra touch and get the shot off, or he could have been out of gas by the time he got there. But the bottom line is, there's no way you're passing that ball. Not to mention he was offside to begin with.
Denis. Here's Aaron Denis. Looking into the box. A turn. A shot. Deflected. Over the end line. Corner kick Penn FC, as it was Sal Barone who's injected himself a little bit more into the action. Barone's going to take this corner kick. This is going to be an outswinger.
Crowd is alive for this kick.
About a minute left to go. Barone into the box, goes through everybody. Menjivar tracks it down on the right side, chips it back the other way, high in the air. Kasana got a piece of it, but not enough of it, and it's headed calmly down to Patterson Sewell. Under a minute to go here in Harrisburg. Penn FC, Toronto FC 2, still scoreless. Jake Bond up the middle of the field. Barone gets the deflection. Does somebody have a winner in them here tonight? Not Penn FC on that play. Akinola, the second half sub, will play it centrally. Looking for a man. He's got him on that left-hand side. Now over to the near side. Zerbali. A step to the inside. A shot. Great save by Pizer and cleared away. Keeps it 0-0. Maybe one last chance here for Penn FC. Barone plays it over to an on-rushing Resend. Forward. Kasana's onside. Kasana comes centrally, looking wide. Cannot find Denis or Paulo Jr. One last chance here. Akinola going right at Hawkins. Shot, chips it, back post. No, sir. And we are just moments away from the final whistle. Quickly out comes Penn FC. And that it is. Final whistle, and we will have a lot of action here in the closing moments, including that great save from Ramu Pizer to keep this one with a final score of Penn FC 0, Toronto FC 2 0. We're going to step out for a break. We'll close things out from here for the USL regular season finale for these two clubs when we come back on ESPN+.
From Times Square to your local community, from local sports to international conventions, Invika has changed the broadcast and video landscape, bringing professional quality and service to organizations across the globe. Through professional, college level, and local sports, festivals, competitions, parades, and telethons, conferences, and commercials, Invika is bringing the power of video to more people and markets than ever before. Have a project you need covered? Check out our website for more information. Invika, providing affordable HD video solutions.
All across Pennsylvania, families are living their lives in their own homes. Not long ago, none of these families believed it possible. And then they discovered there was someone who could help. What was once only a dream is now a reality. Welcome home.
Did you know all electronics must be recycled? It's the law, but more importantly, it's the right thing to do.
At the Recycling Center, Dauphin County residents can recycle older broken TVs, computers, cell phones, laptops, major appliances, even paper.
The Recycling Center is conveniently located on Cameron Street in Harrisburg. It makes recycling fast, safe, and simple.
Stop by the Dauphin County Recycling Center today and help us recycle the right way.
And welcome back to FNB Field. One final time here for this regular season, and you see the Capital City crew with their tribute to Thiago Calvin, who has played his final game in his career, not just for Penn FC, but also in his career overall of 18 years. He doesn't go out a winner, but he doesn't go out a loser tonight, because it's like kissing your sister tonight. A draw here between Penn FC and Toronto FC too, but some great highlights here in the second half, especially that one, an early highlight from this game. But there have been chances galore, just neither team able to put one away. You see some of the opportunities. Here was a great opportunity in the first half that was cleared by Sal Barone of Penn FC. In the second half, we just really had a flurry late in this game, Larry, but it was unfortunate that neither side was able to get that first goal, because who knows, that may have loosened this game up even more.
There's no question about that, Brian. I mean, you know, once the game did loosen up and really for the most part all the shape and balance went out of it, it was end-to-end action.
You see over and over again chances for both sides. The second half, now we have a few opportunities. This may have been one of the better chances, but a poor touch that time by Okello. Penn FC would turn it the other way. Here's Aaron Denis, who played lights out, but just couldn't find the back of the net for Penn FC, no matter what he seemed to do in this one. It's a great opportunity there by Akinola, the second half sub. There you see Thiago Calvin. And the one thing we didn't see in that was the late save from Ramu Pizer, with just probably 30 seconds left to go, that kept this one scoreless. He has been a rock back there for Penn FC, and with this one, he ends up gaining his 6th clean sheet of the season. As you take a look, each of the keepers 3 saves. They didn't have to face many shots on net in the first half, did a little bit more in the second half, and 19 shots for Penn FC shows you how active they were.
Well, you know, unfortunate the result was 0-0, but if you were a fan here tonight, you were treated to a pretty end-to-end game, especially for pretty much the second half. I mean, I understand it's a little unfortunate to not get a result at your last home game, but it was entertaining.
No question about that. And with that, we have finished things up here on our broadcast for the season. And because Penn FC is not coming back next season, we hope to be back with you in a year in 2020 as Penn FC looks to return to the USL at that time, to shutting down operations, to make sure to figure out things structurally and see if they can put the best product they can out on the field, looking for that soccer-specific stadium that they are trying to get accomplished. Heard some things. I am optimistic that that's going to get done in one way or in another, and a chance to have this team back on the field. Let's face it, Larry, Harrisburg is a better place with a professional soccer team. There's no question, and you got to give a lot of credit to Eric Pettis, who has really kept this going for the amount of years that he has, and has really poured his heart and soul into this whole thing. And
And quite frankly, if there's a way to do it, he's going to be the guy that's going to find a way to do it.
I agree with you 100%. I've known Eric for quite some time now, and there's not a guy who has tried harder to make this thing work here in Harrisburg. And there have been some trials, some tribulations, and he has done everything he possibly has so far, and he will try to make sure that this gets done. And Harrisburg will get a professional soccer team right back here somewhere in the area on a soccer-specific stadium. Ramu Pizer waving goodbye to everybody, and we will wave goodbye as well here for Invicta Sports. 14 years out of the 15 with this franchise. It's been a great run with both the Harrisburg City Islanders and with Penn FC in bringing you home games here on Invicta Sports. For Chad Edwards in the truck, who has his work has been tireless, all of our camera people, everybody in the truck, all of Invicta Sports, and for my colleague Larry Julius, this is Brian Kaiser. It's been a great thrill being able to bring you this season for Penn FC. It won't end in a playoff run, but what it does is it ends in a great experience for everyone involved as Penn FC ends the season drawing with Toronto FC 2 by a 0-0 final score. Thanks for joining us. It's been a pleasure, and you've seen it here on ESPN+.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League may not be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the express written consent of the United Soccer League.